What up, YouTube? I am sitting on the in the parking lot here. I'm talking to what was your name?
Denise.
Denise. Okay, talking to Denise, and we started talking about this and that. So tell me, you just got hired at this job today. We won't say where she got hired, but so she was excited. So we just started talking about. But you were telling me that you were on the street, or you used to be on the street, or
I am on the street.
How long you been on the street for?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half. Yeah. Now you're a rare case because you're actually born in Las Vegas.
Correct.
And I moved here in 2000, but we all know a lot of people. We got a lot of transplants from California, and they've come over here and
more places.
Yeah, exactly, and they've come. So do you want to say like why you're on the street right now?
I'm on the street right now because I had an unfortunate string of incidences. I wrecked my bike. I broke my arm. Then I wrecked my bike. I tore my ACL on my left knee. And then I lost my voice. I had a problem. I had all these medical problems, all within 1 year time frame. And I didn't have enough savings to sustain it. I'd been in prison for a year, went to work release, got enough money, rented a spot before I even got out. Had it together, had 2 jobs, working at the Paris, working at 7-Eleven, getting it done.
What did you do at the Paris hotel?
Wash dishes.
And people don't know, they actually pay pretty damn good.
They do.
Yeah,
they really do.
Yeah, if you have
it's a terrible job working in the back of the house, but if you got it, you're gonna get it.
And that's not a job that a woman normally works.
No.
Either.
You'd be surprised. You know, there's a lot of women working.
Is there?
Yeah, now there is. It didn't used to be like there was all guys in the dish room, but not anymore.
There's a lot of women.
A lot of women and a lot of Latinos, right? Like the Mexicans have taken over all of the food industry in this city.
You are preaching to the choir.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah,
so look,
true.
But this is what it is. And like all the people I work with, like maybe 3 of them spoke English, right? But the jobs are good. If you can get in, it's good, right?
Yeah.
And they were nice to me.
Right on.
And it worked out. And then the management had things all screwed up, and I quit.
You quit.
I got a different job, making more money. Then I got hurt. I was in prison. I rented that place before I was in there for like 4.5 years, and then I had all these, issues, and not enough savings to sustain it, and I ended up outside again. It's not the first time, right?
Let's talk about you in prison. Did you did your time in Nevada?
Correct.
What do you know? What the name of the prison you did? You went to Gene?
I went to actually Carson City when the women were still there. This was a long time ago. Then they moved the prison down to Smiley Road, and they busted us all down there. And I was there for 10 years. I spent my whole 20s in the prison.
So how long did you do in prison altogether?
10 years. I got 30 years for armed robbery, first-degree kidnapping, burglary while in possession of a firearm, and then they gave me all the enhancements. So if you use a gun or a weapon in the commission of a crime in the state of Nevada, they double it up.
Do you want to talk about what happened and what occurred during the crime?
It was just stupid. It was like my life had gone off track.
Right.
Behind my kids. And I popped a clutch. And I was young and stupid and mad at the world. And you know what? I deserved every bit to go to that penitentiary because you can't just roll around doing that. Yeah. You can't do that.
Did you rob a business or a person?
Correct. I robbed a business, a flower store, on their bank drop date. Everybody makes bank drops now, but way back then, they just kept it all in a box.
Yeah.
Till the end of the week.
So you went to the floor place, you had a gun, pull out a gun, say everybody get on,
Correct.
Did you tell everybody like get on the ground or just give
There
me
was
money?
only a lady there, only a lady working. And we tricked her and we got her behind the counter, we tied her up. And,
oh boy.
And we got the money, we got away.
Okay, so you did this with another woman or a man?
With another man, yeah.
Oh, so when you tied her up, that was
the kidnapping, right? Because if you move a person more than 10 feet or whatever in the state of Nevada, it's kidnapping. It doesn't matter.
How did you get caught?
About a little bit over a year later, the dude that I had gotten the business with got some trouble over some other shit and rolled out on me. Right. Well, no, he did. Right. And he got a sentence recommendation in both cases. He ended up doing 2 years. I got 30.
You got 30 years. And what year was this?
1994, 93.
And how old were you then?
21.
What does a 21-year-old think when you get 30 years?
Really, you don't think anything because you're in shock. You know what I'm saying? It's like...
Did you have priors?
No.
30 years.
Yeah.
What was the judge that gave you that sentence?
His name was Judge Mosley.
Mosley is a prick.
Hang him high, Mosley.
Oh my God.
Hang him high, Mosley. But listen, here's what I gotta say
Oh
about.
my God, that
look
guy's
though,
horrible.
Look though, I was supposed to get 45 years, and when I went into court and I stood up in front of Mosley, he looked at me and he said, "You're too young." And he dropped my sentence by 15 years and gave me 30 instead of 45.
In case you guys, because we started hollering about this guy, this judge named Mosley, because I used to be in trouble out here. This guy was the worst judge. If you did anything wrong, you do not want to go in front of him because he is going to royally screw you.
But did his son?
No, that dude, but
and his son got in trouble too.
Yeah, he's a felon, his kid, but
Yeah.
nobody knocked 15 years off my bid. Right away, he looked
but
at
30
me.
years is a lot.
He
This
said,
guy-
"You're too young, though." He said, "You're too young. You're too stupid." He told me. That
Okay,
was it.
so you went upstairs. Okay, so how much time did you end up doing?
10
did-
on 30 to expire 30.
And so have you pretty much stayed out of trouble ever since?
Kinda.
Where'd you do that?
Yeah, here.
I've had issues along the way, little issues, but nothing big. Because that time, really seriously, that time, like people go to prison, they spend that kind of time in prison, they're very angry, they're very bitter. But contrary to that, I knew I had fucked up, and I knew that you just cannot act like that. You can't treat people like that. What's wrong with you, right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
I love Jesus and everything else. So what are you doing? I was fucked up in the head, right? And I deserved every bit of that time that I got. I believe that, right? So it's like, right. And so either you could pay what you owe and get on to the better thing, or you could be angry about what you owe, right? And then be hateful and resentful and go through life and make more problems for yourself. I didn't take it like that. I took it as a good thing. Right, a learning experience.
So you took a negative and you turned it into a positive because when you're in prison, I've never done it anywhere near that time, but when you're there and you're sitting and you're reading books and you're thinking about what you've done, I mean that is a lot of time. 10 years, that is no joke.
And I really believe that if they had busted me and I went in for like a year or two, I'd still be a nightmare right now, because I was hard, heavy-handed like that, right?
Yeah, you were.
I needed more time to really consider.
Have you ever? Okay, so let's talk about. So after you get out, have you gone to school or have you done anything?
I went to college, got a college degree. I've got an AA in business. Went to worked for a Fortune 500 company, all kinds of shit, right? Since then.
That could be Jason.
Kinda.
Let me answer.
Yeah, no, we're almost done with the interview.
I'm sorry,
no worries. Thank you for talking to me. So really quick, so you said you've been on the street for a year and a half. So in case anybody comes out to Las Vegas, there is it's not a huge homeless population, but we got homeless people out
Pretty
here.
big.
Yeah,
It's bigger than you think.
Is it?
Like everybody talks about California and all the people, right, living in the homeless areas, right? Like whole shanty towns, giant places, right, where all the homeless go. And like here in Las Vegas and in Henderson, which is connected to Las Vegas, so they made homelessness illegal in Henderson about 7-8 years ago. And now they're trying to do it in Las Vegas. And I don't know if you saw on the news.
I did, yeah.
You look, the people, they went to Las Vegas Boulevard at Fremont Street with their tents and their sleeping bags. It shut down traffic for 5 hours.
Yeah, they protested over
Set up their camps and everything. And they were like, look, you cannot tell somebody. You cannot tell any man or any woman when they're tired that they cannot lay down on God's ground and go to sleep.
I feel there should be places for them to go. They shouldn't
And
have
look,
to
there's
be on
not
the
enough
street.
places, but you know what?
Right.
What if there is a place and they don't want to go?
Because you have to be there by a certain time.
That's none of your business. That's between
Right.
them and God. You cannot tell a human being they cannot lay down on the floor and go to sleep. If they're not obstructing a road or creating a hazard, you can't tell people that. It's terrible. That's why all those people went in the street and did that.
Where do you sleep?
In a tent.
Like, so you don't want to give out the location.
Well, no,
but-
look,
but
there's several locations, so it's rough for a girl in the world.
It is.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody to know where I'm at.
Right.
At a previous time,
Galleria.
when I was homeless, I was way out in the desert. Nobody knew where I was. That's the only place where a girl could really be safe, right?
Yeah.
And I have my guy with me, thank God. Because even by myself, I don't know, right? It's frightening. So like, I'm not in that space anymore, fast forward all these years. So it's like hit and miss. You sleep where you can, where it's safe. We go down to the mission now that they've made it illegal to be homeless. The deal is they won't harass you if there's not any beds in the shelter. Mm-hmm. Then they won't harass you. Who knows this, right?
Yeah, this is.
So look, so everybody just goes down to like the Mission and whatever, where all the other tents aren't set up on the sidewalk. Sometimes I go there. Sometimes I go in an alley. Sometimes I crash on my homeboy's couch. Sometimes you just don't know. It's all around.
Okay, all
Because
right.
it's not safe.
Right on. All right, we'll conclude the interview. I want to thank you again. This is Denise. Thank you for letting me speak to you. Do you have anything to say before I end the video?
Here's what I have to say. Whatever's going on, whatever's ailing you, making you sad, making you depressed, breaking your heart, giving you grief, you can get past it. You really can. I've done it more than once. You gotta love Jesus all day long, and he'll look out for you. Don't give it up. Don't give up the fight, man.
Thank you for those words of encouragement. Okay, this is Black Bigot with Denise. Thank you for talking to me. I appreciate you. Peace out.